We are live. Somebody's going to turn the lights on because it's too dark. Oh, hang on.
Oh. Hello.
The light ring wasn't on.
How about that?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our technical difficulties. Let's see. Who do we have in the chat? Terminator was first one. Good evening to you too. From a nice sunny day in Ontario. Skanes Girl, glad you survived. Tamara, Gregory Kissel, not that kind of Karen. And Tiger, what's up, girl? How's everybody doing this week? Hope everybody had a good week. We survived. It wasn't too bad, was it?
So it was a pretty good week.
Was it
for
a
me.
pretty good week?
It was a good week for me. What about you? Wednesday night, community got together.
Yeah.
And we met somebody, and that was nice.
Tried live streaming it. Did not go over very well because of connectivity problems. But we'll get it worked out. Let's see. Tamara says, "Weird stuff going on. I have 2 chicken coops and some chickens from both coops didn't want to go in. No varmints or snakes in the coop. Sometimes they just do it.
Always.
We got one right now that has decided that she likes living underneath the ramp, going in from the room to the coop. And so I was going and chasing her down and taking her, putting her away, but now I'm just like, you go, girl, be you.
He checks under the ramp. Don't let him tell you that.
I did. I checked it. She was underneath that. She wasn't.
You just left her?
I just left her. I'm not going to fight her. She stayed out last night. She didn't even go in the run last night, or the coop. So she was standing out there when I went out there this morning. So yeah. Oh, there's Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Chuck, did you see somebody was asking about your schedule for classes in Pennsylvania? In one of the.
It was a video from 5 months ago, though, so I'm not sure if he did it yet or not.
Yeah, hey, if you don't stop, I'm gonna smack you. We got puppers that still don't have any control over themselves. But so if you got a schedule for your classes in Pennsylvania, go ahead and post them. Oh, he contacted you. Good, awesome.
I think Chuck needs a wrench to be able to post anything on there.
Does he need a wrench? I thought he had. Does Chuck not have a wrench?
I don't think so.
Hang on, let's see if Chuck has a wrench.
I mean, he can comment, but if he has something like a schedule already made, he needs a wrench to be able to share that on there.
Add as a moderator.
There you go, Chuck. Welcome to our madness.
No, you guys are in trouble. Chuck has a big blue wrench, man. He's gonna start wielding it. Woo! Says my husband and I added a new addition to the farm, a new Massey Ferguson tractor with a backhoe.
Hey.
That's awesome. That's a big step. Absolutely.
Nice. Good
Not
for
kind
you.
of Karen. I have a couple of party girls who like to stay out late and miss getting in before the auto door closes on the coop. Yeah. Happens more in the summertime though. Happens around here.
Except we're not in summer and it's happening.
Yeah. Well, she's kind of weird. The chicken's kind of weird. I've never seen it with so many chickens. Yeah. Sometimes they get crazy all at one time.
Well, I understand why you abandoned SOE lives. I've seen some of that madness.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of trolls over there. We used to. We've not so much anymore. Now they realize that we're not messing around, so they wait until we post a video, and then that's where they comment. They don't do it so much on the lives.
Yeah.
Now watch, I say that, and then watch they'll start popping up.
I had some guy on that who the enemy video is, and I didn't read the comment very well, and I went back and reread it because I gave it a thumbs up and hearted it so it would go away, and I realized the guy was okay. If you're one of these people, then tough. You deserve to be offended. He posted that it was the Jews, that the real enemy was the Jews, and that's such a lame argument. Now, Zionism may be a problem, but it's one of many problems. And anybody who focuses solely on one thing like that has some issues.
I gotta knock on wood real quick. Hey, Indiana Mike.
Hey, Indiana Mike.
Hey, So we got blessed with some sausage today. Neighbor brought it over. He's getting ready to do a 800-pound hog.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get some freezer space. And so he brought some over to me. And here's what I'm thinking. You let me know if you and MMR would be interested. I'm thinking of creating a sausage casserole and doing that. So it'd be kind of like breakfast for dinner. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. Because I'm going to do those tomorrow. She's got to go to Topeka. So I'm either going to run up there with him, drop him off, and then run to Sam's to get sheets or pans, or I am going to do it after, I guess. Oh no, I have to go get feed, right?
No, my thing tomorrow's it's Thursday.
Okay.
My thing tomorrow's in the afternoon. Oh, we got another freeze dryer. Welcome to the cult.
Hello.
You are now the crazy relative of everybody.
Welcome to the family.
It says sign them up.
Yeah.
You gotta explain what you're talking about as far as why you're suggesting this.
Oh,
Because it's a good lesson in bartering.
Yeah, it's a good lesson in bartering. So we gained another freeze dryer. We were just borrowing it, actually storing it and using it, because if they sit, then they don't work and operate the way that they should when you go to use them, and then they become giant paperweights. And so we have been going back and forth on, do we buy the freeze dryer? Is there something we can do? That kind of thing, and just kind of hemmed and hawed on it. And then they came to the realization they really don't have the space. And so we're going to go ahead and hold on to that. And we're bartering for the purchase of the freeze dryer. Still have to come up with a price, but we're bartering for meals. So they're building a house and in kind of a, not kind of, they're in a large camper, tow behind camper, and man, that thing is massive. I hate calling it a camper because it's like a house on wheels. And so they're in that right now. So while they're working on the house, instead of MMR having to come back and try to cook something, now they'll be able to just shower. They can pop what I cooked into the oven, heat it up. It'll be ready by the time they're out of the shower, and then they can eat with no fuss. So that's what we're gonna do. So that's
You'll be
what we're
cooking a long
for.
time.
Huh?
You'll be cooking a long time.
No, I know what my food's worth. So, but because that's what I looked at Jeanette. I got a big MMR. I got a big old smile on my face, and I was like, yes. And it's like, that's a win-win for me. And it kind of felt bad, but it's a win-win for me.
Just remember, Indiana Mike, she doesn't know how to cook for two.
No, and so they know that, and so they said that's why I need the 9x13 pans, because they're gonna freeze and then just take out, as they need it. So all I have on hand are half sheets, so I'm gonna go ahead and go get.
You were busy talking, so Skeens is doing the bread test tomorrow.
Okay.
And then Suburban Prepper's been freeze drying since 2020. He did some blueberry pie, some chicken and lentils for the dogs.
Yeah, you tried pumpkin pie yet? Try pumpkin pie. And then right now I'm also going through, so we do this in our community. I'm also going through, January was check the pantry. So all of the expired cans of fruit and that kind of thing, freeze drying that. So that's one of the things that we talk about in preserving, is that when you have those canned goods, it doesn't become hog feed just because it's expired. You want to make sure that you get that into the freeze dryer, and then you put another 25, 30 years onto your food storage. So I'm doing that for somebody right now.
Had you done the applesauce before?
I had not done applesauce
Tell them about
before.
that. That was very interesting.
Yeah, so that was fun, actually. I had never thought to do applesauce, and but I'm usually doing my stuff to sell and all of that. And so he brought over 48 pounds of applesauce, and I was trying to figure out, what is this going to turn out like? Is it going to be fruit leather, or what that's going to kind of look like? It actually freeze dried really, really well, and it will raise. It's going to expand a little bit, so you want to be careful. I didn't have anything overflow or anything like that, but we got that done. Then what I did was put it in the food processor, and then ground it down and mixed it so it was packageable. Then put everything in just a Ziploc bag. Usually I go ahead and Mylar and seal it real good, but they wanted to go ahead and do it kind of ease the burden off of me. So I was appreciative of that. And so I was like, this is driving G and I nuts when he came over to pick it up. I'm like, I'm so glad you're here. And he was like, wow, what's going on? And we have been wanting to reconstitute some of this and figure this out because I kid you not, 48 pounds of applesauce turned out to be 2 1-gallon bags, Ziploc bags. And I'm like, I know there's some loss in the transition, but not a ton. And so there's no way this is possible. So we figured it out. I broke it down. 1 ounce of applesauce came to 2/3 cup of applesauce reconstituted. And we tasted it. It was amazing.
Tasted excellent.
Here's the other thing too. Here's what was really crazy about it. It actually tasted better than applesauce out of the jar.
It did.
And on top of that, it looked like kind of the consistency of baby food. It was really fine. So what we're thinking is that we may go ahead and start doing some of this stuff, grinding it down and putting that stuff away so that we now have fresh veggies and fruit and all of that for any new babies coming into the compound, right? So I think our property, but so
we do not have a compound.
Community.
If only I had that kind of money.
And so so that's what we're gonna do. So there's an idea for you, Suburban Prepper. And
I was gonna say Suburban, $10 for a good sized home, especially at Aldi's, is really good. He said, hey, I'm not home.
It could be she, you don't know.
Let's see here. Skane's got her dehydrator running right now.
Nice.
Yeah, we have that problem every now and then.
The what?
To overload the circuit when we put too much stuff on there.
Oh, we don't have that now.
Not now.
No. And so yeah, but yeah, I don't think I've got a bunch of potatoes and onions coming. I don't know if those are coming tonight or tomorrow. But those will all go in the freeze dryer. Right now, everything's starting to line up for the freeze dryer, so it's they're freeze dryers. So they're pretty busy right now. I've got 48 plus 20, I got 68 pounds of fruit freeze drying right now. And then hopefully that'll be done. Probably won't be done until Thursday. So Thursday I'll pull all of that stuff out. And then I've got, I've got one more batch of fruit for the neighbor, and then I've got raw milk that I need to get in. So we're freeze drying raw milk right now because the cows start birthing in May, so milk production will go down until the calves are ready for milking to start beginning again.
So I'm trying to say, I just found a reliable pig breeder and put my order in for piglets for May, and they're going to have to set up a program for me and the family to go together, and the steer will raise it for us.
Nice.
So we have decided we're putting the cow on hold for at least half.
At least half a year?
Well, at least probably closer. Probably next.
I would rather it be a year because I don't know if I want to overwinter a cow.
Right. So we are going to go with the pigs. And I'm going to find a large hay ring and fence it in and put covering over half of it. And that's going to be our hog pen. And what I can do is I can hook it up to the skid loader and I can drag it.
Tractor them.
I could tractor them any place I want on the property. Mm-hmm. And so we're gonna get at least 2, maybe 3. We don't know. It's still, things are kind of, from December to now, things are kind of up in the air. We're not.
Did Chris confirm that he have an extra hay ring for us?
He said he could probably part with one. I need to talk to him about it. Okay. So that's what that is. So I'm looking forward to get back into pigs. Okay, so Gregory Kissel, don't freeze dryers need a dedicated circuit? Yes, and it's got to be
we have different sizes, so
we've got one that runs off of 110, and we've got one that runs off of 220. So the 110's not on a separate circuit. It's just,
yes, no.
It's a separate plug. It's got the 3-prong with the.
We put it on a separate what's that doohickey that goes in the box? It's a different breaker.
She's using technical terms.
I'm
translating it for you guys.
But the extra large freeze dryer, that one is ironically enough is the 110.
Yeah.
And but it's brand new too, so it's more efficient. And that one is only $2 per load, something like that.
Something like that.
And then the large freeze dryer, it's the 220, and then the other freeze dryer is also the 220, which is also one of the reasons why that large freeze dryer is not plugged in right now. So,
Ghost is here.
Hey, Ghost.
That should make you feel guilty for not doing an inventory yet.
Actually, that's going to happen because Jessica, her and I were just talking, and I need the hotel dishes, all the catering equipment. So she wants to trade for some of our my kitchen, my stuff, her baker's swag.
Stanley Farm is right that it is a 20 amp circuit. Yeah. Yes, yes. I guess it is a dedicated circuit. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be. It just if you got a bunch of stuff that runs off of 20 amp.
I don't know. All I know is that Hacks tells me what I need to go get, and I go get it, and it goes in, and it's all working. So kind of nice to have an electrician in the community.
There you go.
Again,
so in the manual it says dedicated 20 amp.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not.
So that's the little breaker that goes in there.
The breaker and the funky plug.
Yeah.
Again, I am not an electrician. There's a reason why. There's a reason why we have Darren come down.
Give yourself some credit. You knew it needed a dedicated something.
Yeah. I mean, I can do as long as there's not juice running through it, unless it's like a changing out a fan or something like that. I could do it. The rest of it, I just don't feel comfortable.
How many preppers do you think I know that would wear leggings? I have no idea. I don't. Usually it's blue jeans and work clothes. So I don't know.
I don't know. Nikki wears them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'll ask her and see. I don't know. Some kids' leggings would be cute, though.
Of course.
We send the grandbabies all leggings that say Grumpy.
Of course, he said preppers.
Who said preppers?
Well, he said...
No, he said leggings.
Did he? No, but...
What are you talking about?
Did he say how many homesteaders? Or...
Huh?
Never mind.
I said that.
Oh, you said that. So it doesn't have to be.
Get out of the buster.
It doesn't have to be preppers or homesteaders. It can be anybody.
I don't know. I don't know that we have anybody that ever orders like that.
Yes, I have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. That's why I'm dangerous.
Remember that Holiday Express that we stayed at? Was that in Hannibal? That was a Holiday Express?
No, that was something else.
Oh,
Susie wants to know how to freeze dry pumpkin pie.
Oh, make your pumpkin pie and then cut it into. You could do it by square if you wanted to, and then cut it in 1 inch by 1 inch and freeze dry it. And then even if you wanted to do slices, you could go ahead and do slices and freeze dry it that way. There's pumpkin pie. And do it at the 125. So if you go back over into the custom, make sure if you were over in candy mode or you were doing fruit or something like that, make sure you go back over and then get back to the 125.
Send that to me and I'll forward it on to Spag since he's
What is that?
Custom stamping.
Oh. For how much?
I don't know.
Who was working on that?
Anti said he found it.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, because I think the one that he wanted me to buy was like $145 or something like that, and I just don't see the point.
Yeah, Tiger's excited about the leggings, Ghost.
Okay. Tiger, do you want ones that say Grumpy Acres on them or some kind of weird funky thing? I said, oh, you know what? Leggings, actually, and then down the side.
Great big Grumpy Acres right on the butt cheek.
No. Nobody needs to draw attention to that. But I'm thinking like down the leg and then do like a come and get it. And if you could find leggings where you could attach your gun in there or come and take it.
Come and take it.
Yeah, come and take it. And then maybe like put a little gun logo down underneath it. I don't know, Ghost. Come up with a design. I'm not good at designs. Oh, and in the latest news, I finished the first cookbook. I just have to go in and do some hints and tips. So
well,
that should be done tomorrow.
She got the recipes in. Now we've got to format the book. And
you got to format the book.
You are going to work on it. You're going to get all the filler stuff.
I'm going to get all the filler
stuff. I told you that I would copyright it for you. You need to come up with all the information, and I'll just make it pretty. Make it sound like you're smart. Okay. SMRT.
I appreciate
Let's see. Man, you guys are ripping the chat apart tonight. I can't keep up. See, All American. I had All Americans up there because I agree with that. That is a good.
What do you say?
He said he tries to go he goes primitive, just in case everything else falls, and you have to rely on those other things. And I agree. One of the reasons why we had the problems with chickens is because we decided to go without any heat and anything like that out there.
Super glad we did, though. We learned a very important lesson.
Yes, we learned a lot.
Yeah.
But I agree 100%. You know, we should always have primitive backups. Tools, all you guys out there, go find hand tools. You know, drills, good crosscut saws, good.
I even have kitchen stuff, so I've got primitive kitchen. So I can make butter, I can churn butter. I've got one large one. I've got I've got 3 butter churns, and then I've got one crock, one wood, and one glass jar. And then, did you see? Look, I left the liquor cabinet. If you want to check that, it's a mess. Can you reach over? And then I also have kitchen tools. So I've got the manual whisks and all that stuff. So, and then fermenting and that kind of thing. So I've got all that stuff to be able to do that. Except I would like to find a really great crock for fermenting, and those have been so expensive when I find them.
Right.
So.
And the new ones, I don't like the new crocks compared to all the old stuff.
Right.
Most important primitive kitchen item: a coffee pot.
Coffee pot. Yep.
Yeah, I've got a coffee inspired post coming up for the middle of Midwest Preparedness Festival on the community page that I think is very appropriate for the people that go to camp out. Tamara wants to get another Jersey milk cow.
Are you gonna do A2, or are you gonna do A1? You don't care. I don't know. What are you looking at? Had some requests. Well, Chris has had some requests for A2 milk, and I don't know what week it comes from a A1, A2, and it's good milk. So
it was delicious milk. Let's see here. Totally correct, Spags doesn't get told that very often, so you probably ought to repeat that.
I may have to call him and make sure he hasn't had a heart attack.
Make sure he's not passed out on the floor.
Right.
I have 2 old-fashioned percolates, a small French press, and a large French press.
Yeah. Tamara the Dexter is what we're looking at. So I've seen them up close. They do the largest one on record. Does get up to 1,000 pounds, and so you're still getting good meat off of that. Not only that, when talking to Gypsy and his lovely bride, when talking to them, they took one to Butcher. The Butcher had never done a Dexter before, and the comment from the Butcher was that was the easiest cow to butcher, and it was the most beautiful marbling that he has ever seen. So what does that tell you? So Dexter's where it's at, I think.
Good enzymes in the milk.
Yeah. So that goes along with the marbling.
Yep. That's exactly what the problem is. You can't find any that aren't cracked.
Right.
Most of them you find in secondhand stores are show only. They're not functional.
Chipped or they're cracked.
Well, because when they're functional, they get
$500 a piece.
Well, they get picked up. Yeah. You can grow coffee in Central and South Florida. Yeah.
You can grow coffee here in the Midwest.
No, you can't.
Ish, Kentucky coffee.
That's
the
not
Kentucky
coffee.
Tree.
That's not.
Those are coffee beans.
No, they're not coffee beans.
You told me they were.
They're Kentucky coffee tree beans. They are a substitute.
What do you do with those?
You grind them up and use them like coffee, but they are not coffee. They do not taste like coffee. But they're better than chicory. Now, I'm taking that as secondhand knowledge, folks, because I'm not a coffee drinker. So I cannot tell you. I wouldn't know good coffee from good chicory or good Kentucky coffee trees. All I know is you can grow Kentucky coffee trees here and you don't have to drink chicory.
So one of the things with the chicory is interesting that you talk about that, because that's one of the things that I put in the cookbook. I was going through some another book that I thought this information really needed to get out. It wasn't copyrighted. All of the Amish community, they take credit for everything that they put in there. So I just translated that and put that in there. Did you know that chicory, if you drink 2 glasses of that, make a tea out of it, drink 2 glasses of that a day, or no, I'm sorry, an hour before each meal, and then 1 before you go to bed, it's a weight loss. I forgot to tell you that. We've been talking about
poop
that.
your brains out.
So,
you know what? It's coffee adjacent. I'm not drinking it. It's exactly what'll be happening. Yeah, not that kind of Karen. I sometimes the non-motorized stuff is nice, and that's what when I learned how to make bread, we had a bread machine that the first 4 or 5 loaves I made.
Like anything out of the bread machine.
Well, it was great. It was great for proofing.
Yeah, for proofing, but now I've got an oven that proofs.
Right.
And I have a sun oven, so I don't do that.
So Gregory says chicory mixed with coffee is not too bad. I'm not even sure what chicory is, to be honest with you.
So we have a bunch of it out there.
Do we? Mm-hmm. You guess what you get to try this summer.
Telling me I gotta lose weight?
No, I'm saying you get to try chicory.
Oh.
Grow some Mormon tea. That stuff has a kick. All right.
Mormon tea. Never heard of it.
You guys keep talking.
Yeah, never heard of that.
I'll be right back. Tell them.
Well, if they can keep talking, I can't see them because you're typing.
Give them a.
Oh, so
tell them a story. Tell them what else happens. Tell them about the get together.
Oh yeah, so we had the get together, and we had Rebecca from Pennsylvania that came out and got to talking with her. I like her. She's smart, and so she's done a lot. So it'll be interesting, and she's interested in actually coming out. So it looks like the community garden is getting a lot bigger, and it looks like I've got plenty of help to take care of it. So I'm super excited. I mean, this may be able to turn out into some sort. I think we have enough people that we can plant enough. We may actually be able to do a few farmers markets or pop-up stands. And so I'm excited about that, see how that goes, kind of try our hand at it. And speaking of that, it's getting close to time to start planting. And so the first thing is I've decided that in the greenhouse is going to be herbs. So I'm going to do all herbs in there. Looks like the weather is cooperating enough that I can do brassicas and get that stuff in outside. And so we'll start getting that stuff headed that way. So super excited about that. And that comes just in time because our first festival for cooking is in April. We will be out at Sulphur Lens Festival. So we don't need to do that. Speaking of which, did you get back with Nicole?
Did you read the emails?
I did not.
Okay.
So you did. You're saying you did.
I'm not saying I did. I'm not saying I did.
Why do you have to be that way? You're like a child. So anyway, so we I'm taking it that we got the logo and everything over there. So we will be out there and hopefully have just all kinds of farm fresh food and a creating menu and trying my hand at some new stuff. I hope you guys will be excited about that. Not necessarily all healthy, but better than what you get at the store. Oh, those cinnamon rolls that I made. I spoiled myself. And so we ended up with some store-bought cinnamon rolls. I did not buy them, but G did Harvesters, and there were some in there. And so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and I'll try it. And so had a sweet tooth going on. So I heated it up, and I went to go eat it. I had a headache within 2 minutes. I was sick to my stomach, and it did not taste anything like mine. So I spoiled myself.
They tasted like truck stop cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Mine did not.
Yeah, not the fresh cinnamon rolls, the kind you get in the packages. You know. So yeah, it was.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so I think just my own stuff. I just got to stick
What kind of herb are you growing? He asks.
Got several. I got several. But yeah, no, it'll be everything for kitchen and medicine and all of that. So you read into that whatever you want.
Do we have many farmers markets near us? Do we have a population density where we live? Well, tell them about the farmers market saga and why you're talking about pop-up stands.
Okay, so they have a lot of rules and regulations that go along with the farmers market. And when you do that, you start inviting the USDA into your business. You have to have a license for your greenhouse. You have to have a license. You're only allowed to sell so many X amount of plants.
Not a certification.
No, it's a license.
Is it a
They
license?
come and inspect your greenhouse. That's why I did not do it.
Okay.
And so then, what was the other thing? Yeah, then there was just like a whole bunch of crap. Like, don't cut anything. Nothing can be cut. Things have to have so much of a root system, so much of greens. I mean, it's just a nightmare. It's absolutely stupid. And so, what we decided, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. And so, what a great idea to just go ahead and set up a pop-up farmer's market. And so we could go ahead and take all of our fruit, vegetables, all of that stuff, and literally load up the pickup truck or a trailer or whatever, or both, and then go set up in, here we have an empty parking lot, and go set up and put everything in. Now, I think that I could probably call either Wilson's Tires or Wendy or whatever, and, she'd probably give me permission for sure, Wendy would, to go ahead and pop up in front of the liquor store. So you could get your liquor and you could get your fruit and veggies.
So kill your liver while you're fixing the rest of your life.
Right.
Credit where credit due. So the idea for the pop-up farm stand came from Matt and Gabby from Homesteading for a Living.
Yep.
So credit where credit is due. They're the ones that advocate that and are the first ones that showed us how to do it and told us about it. So.
And Gregory, to back up to that too, every county here has a farmer's market. The one that is in Holton, I've never been to, so I'm not sure what that one looks like. The one in Hoyt is kind of a hot mess. You have maybe 2 or 3 vendors there. I've never seen a lot of people. I've driven by to decide if I was going to do it or not. The one in Hiawatha, that girl, apparently I was too much competition for her. She wouldn't even consider me for the farmer's market. Laid out a bunch of rules and all that crap, and then didn't do anything. I won't even tell you who she is because she has a YouTube channel. So we'll just keep that hush hush. But yeah. So anyway, there's that. So you just said there's a lot of politics and a lot of stupid people involved, and you get them out by doing pop-up farmers market. So that's what we're gonna do.
Again, all American. Good comment.
Yeah.
The thing is, they're going to start coming after people that don't comply, and they've already started it, and it's just going to become more and more prevalent. And the only thing that we can do is to get as many people on board the non-compliance train, and just make it.
You got to have backup.
Just make it so they can't get everybody. So there's the call. There's one of the calls to action this week. Go think about how you can be non-compliant and make your life better and more freedom and liberty minded.
Yeah, not that kind of Karen. Matt and Gabby, they're good people.
They're good.
So cute, and they're cute. Oh, their baby is just so stinking sweet. So, and I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't know if they put the baby.
Unfortunately, we are not sure if we're going to make it to the back of the festival.
Yeah, probably not. But I'm sure we'll see them at KSL, and and we'll see them at SRF. So.
Well, they usually make it. One of them does.
Yeah, Matt at least, but no, I thought Gabby came too. So, but now the baby's a little bit older. Hopefully they'll get there. But yeah, so we'll see them again this year. Actually, in 2 months.
And I used to be vice president of local agriculture and run a farmer's market, but I walked away from the politics. Oh, and in small towns, it is. I guess from what they say, the big ones aren't any better.
No, and they're so expensive.
Oh yeah, the Kansas City was what, $1,000 a weekend,
$1,000 a weekend, and then you had to accept the EBT.
Yeah.
So they would go in and then do the wood coins, like wooden nickels, and then that represented so much amount of money. Now, in fairness, they do that in the county ones too, but with the county here, you can choose whether or not you want to accept those. You don't have to. So.
Because the involvement equals we got you. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about something. So this came up. We went and we delivered a sheep to somebody. We She got a good home. She got to go be with one of her flock mates.
And
really,
they remembered each other, and they're in love already.
Yeah,
it's
it was really kind of cool. They sniffed each other and was like, hey, I remember you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really kind of cool. But we were talking about this. So, and I still can't remember. There's a series, and one of you guys, if you know it, put it in the chat. So there's a series, and I don't remember which streaming service it was on, but it was like an 8 or 9 part series, and each episode dealt with a different part of agriculture. Like
YouTube, and it starts with karma.
One of them was about bees. Another one was about meat. Another one milk and chicken. So the milk one, this is the one that got me. So it took place in South Carolina, and the guy was running a not a food bank.
It was kind of like a CSA.
A buyer's club.
Yeah.
It was a buyer's club. Yeah. And he would take a U-Haul truck, go across into Georgia, get milk, and bring raw milk back because you can't.
These people have already paid for their milk because they had to order, and they pay upon order, and so literally it was their milk.
Apparently, South Carolina, you cannot sell raw milk to individuals.
Can't even take it across the state.
Well, and across the country, it's against federal law to transport raw milk across state lines. And if I remember correctly, it's illegal to transport it, let alone buy or sell it. Right? So this guy goes and he gets it, he brings it back, and he's got all this milk in these coolers. And these 3 people, one from the FDA or USDA, one from the state agriculture department and the health department, the county health department, they show up, and it's these 2
old ladies.
Well, she's 2 old ladies and a like a overweight, bald-headed, mushy guy.
Oh yeah,
all
you're
right.
right.
So they pull up, and they start telling these people they can't get the milk, blah blah blah, and
padlock the truck after they forced them to open all of the coolers.
Yeah. So
all the coolers had to be opened,
but
and then padlock the truck.
The police weren't there, so it was these three political, or I don't know what bureaucrats. Yeah. These 3 bureaucrats standing there. There were like 30 people there to pick up their milk, and the whole time this is going on, the guy's arguing with them. The milk is sitting right there on the truck. The truck is open. It's 15, 20 feet away.
You could literally walk into the truck and grab your own jug.
All these people stood there and let it happen. And I turned to her when we were watching this. I'm like, I would just walk up and take it.
Right.
It's like, what are you gonna do, lady?
Right.
What are you gonna do? How are you gonna stop?
I didn't bring it over the line. I didn't do any of that. Give me my damn milk. Get the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been it would have turned ugly.
Yeah.
And that's what more people need to do. More people need. You cannot stand there idly while they're taking our freedoms away from us and our liberty away from us. We need to start doing something. And I'm not calling for violence. I'm not doing anything like that. So YouTube, don't think that that's what I'm doing. What I'm advocating is a little bit of civil disobedience. Now, here's the thing.
Florida's not like Texas. Similar in some ways.
Here's the thing about it, though. So it's not going to be a mostly fiery but peaceful civil disobedience. People like us, we're not going to go out and we're not going to get violent. It's just that we have too many morals and too many values, and most of us are not going to get violent, right? But they will treat you like you're going to be violent. You got people that went into the Capitol building and rearranged some furniture and did stuff. They're getting years and years and years threatened in prison. But you got people that were rioting in Minnesota, burning stuff down, and the vice president of the United States was advocating raising money for their bail.
And you have a congresswoman, several of them standing up and literally committing treason and are still in Congress. So there's that. Joseph G. Okay, you might know. Do you have any update on that convoy? Like, the news has completely wiped it. There's nothing coming out on it whatsoever. So I have not been able to do what?
Like that kind of Karen said the same thing.
Yeah. So do you? Not that kind of Karen. Do you remember what it's called? It was like farm of something.
Farm apocalypse? Is that it?
Is it Pharmapocalypse? So not apocalypse. I don't remember. I want to say it is, but I tried to find it the other day because mom and dad hadn't seen it, so I was going to send it to them.
They literally drove up onto the property. Seriously, they knew where the transfer was going to take place, and these people, they drove up in a car, got out, and started taking control of the situation. And these people left.
They let them. They let them.
You know. So, you know, we've got this thing, this government agency from the state called the Noxious Weed Department, and they go around looking for noxious weed on people's property. The Lespedeza, which the state brought in, but that's a whole other. But they walk up to people's property and say, hey, we want to come check for this stuff. And if they find it on your property, you have to spray pesticides or the herbicides on it to kill it. And they mandate that you do it, right?
Gregory, that's what we do here.
Well,
it's by donation.
Well, a friend of ours, they came up to his property and wanted to come in his gate, and he told them no. And they said, well, we're from the state. And his response was, well, you're trespassing now. I've told you to leave. You're trespassing because my property goes down to the road. So if you don't leave, I'm calling the sheriff. And they left, and that was a year and a half ago.
No, they did not leave.
No, he threatened. He got on the phone. Well, he got on the phone
with
he got on the phone with the sheriff, and the sheriff told him to leave. But they have not been back. It's
been a year.
It's been a year.
It'll be a year. Actually, it'll be a year in a couple months.
What was that? I take my raw milk to it, so I guess I'm a criminal since I go through what she says.
I usually have raw milk in the cooler. I'm not gonna lie. So you know, always come get some of mine.
America, it's going to be up to us to save what's left of our country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, okay, I don't know if I'm more about saving the American nation and not the country of the United States. Seriously. And that's just my personal take.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
You know what? HG, if it were me at this point after seeing what happened, I'd post armed guards at the front of the property, and you would not get on the property without my permission. And if you didn't like it, tough. What are two geriatric bureaucrats and a pasty doughboy going to do, right? Well, they were two geriatrics and a pasty doughboy.
Hey, Gmo.
When we milk cows, people come and get the milk, and we leave a donation.
Yep.
Well, we can sell it. We can sell it here in Kansas. Yeah, you can.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
You can sell raw milk in Kansas.
Okay.
Last time I looked, you could. I don't know. Maybe I misread. I don't know. Gmail call. I don't know if I can ever hit the right thing. There you go. The Rabbit shows up too. Rabbit's always late though. Rabbit's on late time constantly. That's what the problem is.
Suburban Pepper. So that's interesting that you asked that because I'm actually freeze drying the raw milk, and that's what we were talking about. And I even talked about it with Tracy. So nothing that I freeze dried should be gone. It should all be there, and so and be in its natural state. So we were actually talking about reconstituting a gallon and doing this. Let it sit, see if the cream comes back up, so that I can make butter. And then you were going to try to make yogurt with the rest of it, right? Yeah. And then you were going to try to do yogurt too, right?
Yeah, you could do yogurt.
You think? I thought you were going to try it though.
Yeah,
I think we just reconstitute one.
This is sugar. All yogurt does the yeast ferment or eats the sugar in the milk, and that's what curdles the milk.
Okay, well let's try one.
Okay.
Let's do it. So we'll do it. Hopefully we'll have a video out in the next couple weeks. I've got the milk sitting right over here. It's not even labeled yet.
Yeah,
so.
Starla, we haven't got to that portion of the show, but since you mentioned it, we're going to have to call off World War III, people.
I cried a little bit.
The United States is not going to be able to participate in World War III because we are not allowed to have a war unless we've got a Toby Keith ass-kicking song to play during it. So they need to figure out somebody new or get an AI version of Toby to write a song or something, because we just cannot do it. And you know what the crappy thing is about Toby Keith dying is that the Dixie Chicks outlived him. That's the crappy thing. I mean, Tim dying's the crappy thing, but it just makes it even crappier that those three hags outlived him. I'm sorry, they're not hags. They're actually well, two of them are semi-attractive, but they're ugly on the inside.
What is your deal with Dixie Chicks? I missed something.
You not remember whenever he told them they were out getting into politics, Toby Keith told them just to shut up and sing?
I don't remember.
So that whole FUTK thing that they started?
I don't remember that.
You don't?
I was probably busy raising babies.
So, I'm sure it was on one of your shows.
I don't know. I don't think so.
But yeah, so the good ones. Actually, you guys want to. I haven't seen it yet, but I remember seeing it the first time. There's a YouTube video of Toby Keith talking about smoking weed with Willie Nelson and how he would never do it again.
That I remember.
Yes. There you go, HG. There's another musical thing. Ben Shapiro is one of the top rappers in the country right now. How?
What?
We live in crazy times. Oh, him and Tom McDonald wrote a rap song, and Ben Shapiro raps in it. Yeah, you're a Ben Shapiro fan too. You haven't seen it.
I'm not really a Ben Shapiro fan, but no, I haven't heard it or seen it. I don't.
Did he really? I missed that one. Yeah. Still
everybody makes mistakes.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. That "Proud to Be an American" song, I hate that song. I hate that song with a passion. Because after coming home from the Gulf War, for 3 or 4 years, you could not go into a military bar and not have. It was really bad.
Well, they would even play it when the ships came in.
It was really bad. Like 6 months after the Gulf War,
it was like
started coming home.
It started with Willie Nelson on the road again. So when they go out on the road again, and then no, they also played it when you guys came in, and my dad too. When my dad would come in. So on the road again, then Toby Keith, and then there was one more. There was another one. I don't know, craziness.
Okay, I'm getting behind him. I gotta go back. Let's see. Tamber knows. Right here, man. We're same wavelength. No, wasn't there something
I haven't even heard about Dixie Chicks in a long time. Nobody talks about them anymore. Because they're anti-American.
Yeah. This administration will hire Lizzo for
what I was laughing about. Oh my god. People are nuts. This world has gone crazy.
Well, they're just the Chicks now. I guess they changed their name.
Oh, because Dixie is racist.
Yeah. Oh, here's something I saw yesterday. Think about this. You guys think about this. Land O'Lakes. Remember the book Land O'Lakes butter?
They still have it.
It had the Indian princess on it. You realize what the left did? The left kicked the Native American off the package, but kept the land. How effed up is that? I didn't realize.
Is this a joke? This is a joke.
No, look, she is no longer on the package because it's offensive. So they kicked the Native American off the package, and
when did this happen?
Like last year, a couple of years ago.
I've seen her on the package.
Whenever they got rid of Aunt Jemima, because a successful black woman is not to be tolerated.
What? Okay,
By
now
the
you
left.
have me curious. Now I'm gonna have to dive in.
So I just said that, and some schmuck out there is going to watch it. He's going to cut that out and make me sound like a racist. So yeah, how messed up is that?
Interesting. I didn't even notice. Oh, I don't buy Land O'Lakes, so. But, weird.
I had some pretty good adventures with Willie Nelson and my grandfather. Let's see here. Oh, it's, I filled the largest tree I've ever filled today, and no power lines were hung. I'm getting better.
Good.
That's always a big plus, man. Not landing on something is a big plus. I need to get. I've been cutting deadwood for so long. I don't think I've felled a tree. The big one we did with the skid loader doesn't count because that was kind of that was a mess. But I used to be. There was a point in time where I could fell.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry.
There's one. Okay.
He loves that song too. I'm not gonna lie.
I was a paratrooper medic in Desert Storm. Getting there, I got sick of the so-called pit. Our song was "Let the Body Sick." Yeah, I was just singing that. I was just singing that Saturday night coming home from dinner.
Yep.
You know
That's
what?
funny.
You know what? It may become relevant. I'm just saying. I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it's the same.
We discovered something this weekend. So
What did you
we were actually at some friend's house. Like he said, we took a lamb over, and then they made us dinner and all of that. And so we actually got into a conversation. We were talking a little bit about what we were talking about Tuesday about the new chemical that's being put in the chicken. And I really can't serve this at festivals. I don't feel comfortable with it. It's a gel, and all of that. Well, he actually had information that was a little bit deeper than what I knew because I hadn't really dug into the research because I'm one of those people like I just want to eat it. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to eat it, and I'm not going to serve it. Apparently, this is part of the protein, part of the bug protein and the protein. So if you think of MNRA, that is a protein, and so these are the proteins that are being put into the chicken. So if you remember back, they said one way or the other, we're going to give this to you, and you'll either take it through the shot, or we'll just put it in your food. And so now they have, and Tyson has signed a government contract, which I thought was interesting that it would be a government contract, but Tyson signed the government contract, and
Well, Tyson bought a company that does insect protein, and they bought it December.
Is that why the government came in?
Well, I don't know what the government part is. I know that Tyson is part owner in a.
Well, one's eating your shoe,
They're not eating my
and
shoe.
the other one was just digging at the corner.
I got something I want to show you guys.
So anyway, so Tyson now has agreed they're going to be putting this in their food. So you do you. I ain't eating that crap. Not gonna happen.
It's funny I don't know if this is where I found that picture. There was a picture of a meat package that somebody had bought in Walmart.
And it said, "Warning: Do not eat. Not for human consumption."
No, it had a little label in the upper right-hand corner that had a cow on it, and it said lab-grown meat, and it was ground beef.
I knew that they had to start doing that. So that did hit, I think, as of January 1st. They have to start telling people that it's lab-grown meat. But I didn't realize it was going to be in small print. So everybody pay attention to that. Too.
Well, no, it's not small print. It's a decent size.
Was it?
Decent size thing.
Oh, yeah, Tyson's been owned by China for a long time. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, but it was amazing to see it, that they're actually putting it in there and people are buying it.
They're buying it.
That's the scary thing about it.
And it's not cheap. It's more expensive, so I don't understand how they're affording it. There can only be 550 million people in the world, so this is how they're going to come at you. But yeah, no, the consensus here in the entire community is nobody can wait until we can get to 100% of growing our own food, just so we don't have to deal with this stuff. So between all of us, we're about there. If we interchange with each other and all of that.
Well, we could supply 100% of our protein.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
we could.
We'd have every single animal there is.
Yeah, we could, and there's other people that can provide more.
The vegetables and the fruits.
Well, more than 100% of the protein for everybody.
Yeah. So
now we need to work on the veggies.
Yep, and it's about that time. So exciting.
Yeah. Starla's old school country.
Loretta Lynn, Dolly, and Dolly Parton's still going too, man.
Charlie Pratt.
Charlie's
Conway.
still going. Conway's still going.
Hank Williams, Johnny
Yeah.
Cash.
Patsy Cline is huge on the karaoke. Hank, yeah.
Kurt.
I've actually got Hank Williams and a lot of those singers.
Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. I've got a lot of those singers. I actually have tapes of them jamming with my grandfather.
Yeah, they used to, whenever they go on tour, they pass through L.A. and they were. He knew somebody.
Well, Johnny Cash and my grandfather played together, and so.
But she said she had these recordings, and they were real,
was like, no.
They were reel to reel, and she had them put on CD, and it was just them jamming in the garage studio that he had.
No, the studio was in the house.
Oh, that's right, where the piano was.
Yeah.
And I started listening to it, and sure as snuff, you could tell Johnny Cash.
Exactly who everybody was.
Yeah.
And so even all the way down to, it was funny because the psychic that my Nana used, that was actually Elvira. And so they knew Elvira firsthand and all that. And so all that stuff was in there.
G-Ma's taking offense.
What?
So there's good country today. There is.
Yeah, there is.
There is, but nothing, you got to admit, those old country stars, they...
Yeah, but I tell
I'm
you
not
what,
even a country fan.
To Gima's point, there really are. There's some new country artists that are coming in that you almost, I do anyway. I sit and I listen to them, and I think they're almost reincarnated. It's just like, I don't know what you listened to when you were growing up, but girl, you got it. Even the guys, they look at.
This is gonna make me sound cringe as hell. But I like Luke Bryant.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at Luke. That's a young kid who actually, it sounds old school.
Who's the guy that sings "Chugging Lugging Along" in my John Deere? I love that song.
Yeah.
That is so northwestern Missouri, northeast Kansas.
That's my favorite song, and so it's just every time, and it's so funny too because we'll be on the blacktop. And I see a tractor, the great big huge ones that are out there. The combines go in, and I just slow down and roll back behind them. And when you do that, here's the great thing: they'll usually pull over when they notice that you're back behind them, and then let you pass them, and they'll even wave you on. So there is absolutely no reason for you to be honking and acting like an asshole trying to get around them because they are just trying to get to their payday.
I seriously, the great big sprayers, with the tires that the body's like 6-8 feet.
Yeah.
I so want to drive underneath them between the wheels. If I still had my MG, I'd do it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
So dangerous.
Okay, Gregory Kissel watched another YouTuber and was telling that the environmentalists are now saying that homestead gardens are worse than big ag for the environment. Yes, they are. But guess who's funding all these environmentalists? Guess where they're getting their funding from? They're getting their funding from these people that invest in big ag. They're getting their funding from government grants that want to shut small farms down. So yeah, anything that gets in the way, and it's just going to get worse, folks. It is just going to get worse. And I'm not saying that the black pill. I'm just a statement of fact. Anything that gets in the way of them being able to control us is going to become bad for the environment or illegal.
Read that one, because that is crap. That is total BS right there.
Rabbits?
Yeah, because that is total crap right there. Especially since most of us are regenerative gardeners.
Yeah. They're saying we put out 5 times the amount of than an enterprise. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. And really, it's interesting because the regenerative farming, they're actually teaching this a lot, and it was click on it at discoverinag.com. Is that right? Does it sound right?
The soil guy?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think so.
And but there's actually a program. They're over in Ireland, all across America. They were getting into Scotland and all of that, and they're actually teaching everybody regenerative gardening, trying to get everybody out of the fertilizer and all of that crap. So that's probably what they're upset about. And because you can just, if you're not using that crap, you're going to get way better soil. Your soil's not going to be depleted of nutrients, and you have that natural fungi and bugs and all of that stuff in there that you need to make everything better. It's just a matter of rotating your crops and knowing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, and interestingly enough, Milo, about after 3 years, fixes that soil pretty damn good. So,
and we're finally, I'm hoping to finally be able to get back into doing stuff properly, at least a little bit. You know, we're gonna do tilling. We're gonna till this year, till a pretty big part. But after that, I'm gonna try to do nothing but no till and get back to doing like we were at the old place. You know, and
of course, we are tilling this year, and so
probably have to till for the next 2 or 3 years.
Probably, but we knew that coming in. We have a lot of land we got to fix, but thank God now we're going to be able to do more of it because our neighbor is going to come over and, like we said last week, he's going to till a lot of this for us. So we'll have, what I'm hoping, at least a couple acres of community garden. I think we've got enough people to help me with that. So we'll see what happens.
You know, Old American Prepper going old school. You know what? I used to do that. I like my mechanical advantage now.
Who's this? Stepping well.
I don't know. I missed the first part of that. And I couldn't find it.
Yeah. But yeah. And it's interesting too that you're talking about this, and now all this is starting to go on because the former ag secretary that worked underneath Trump's administration, who was actually pretty prevalent, and they're talking about him here in Kansas. And then the governor has issued that Iowa do half mass until the day of his funeral. So the day of his funeral also put the thing back up, and so it's really interesting that he got.
Oh, GMA's telling a good country songs. That's what that is. It just occurred to me. Okay, so it's a psyop to turn opinions against homesteaders. Okay, let's talk about psyops and conspiracy theories about what's going on. You guys know who Taylor Swift is?
Oh my God!
You may have heard about Taylor Swift.
Why?
You may have heard about her. So, the media.
I don't even think that
there were
Travis Kelce plays football.
There were right-wing pundits. There were right-wing people that were pointing out that her success recently has been artificial, and she's being propped up because they were going to use her to motivate people to vote for the Democrats. And the news and all the commentators and all these people poo-pooed the idea and said that's crazy. The tinfoil hats and all that stuff.
Is it true?
It came out this week that the Biden administration has openings for social media people. They put out a memo that said, please do not submit any more Taylor Swift ideas because we've already got enough. And it comes out that they're planning on putting Potato Head, or whoever his replacement is, on stage with Taylor Swift right before the election.
Get out of here.
So yes, they are using her to motivate people to vote for the Dems. And Spags and I are doing it. Spags and I are doing a live stream on the 21st. Adjacent to that, it was prompted by that she's a nice person, and nice does not equal good. And so we're going to talk about that. It's not a Taylor Swift bashing session, whatever. It's just you could be a nice person and still be an evil prick.
Hold on a minute, just so I don't lose the spot. Yes, anti-Jack. What we're looking at was we're trying to find that video. I know it's on YouTube, and it's Pharma something, and they break it down. There are several episodes. One is on the bees, the one is on milk, one is on meat, etc. That's what we're looking for. What the actual name of that is, I could not find it. Now back to the.
Or he could have been talking about me trying to find the picture of the lab-grown meat. So.
Could be too. So maybe he could find that too. But yeah. So no, this is curious to me, and I think it's really funny because Taylor Swift isn't most of her audience under the age of 18.
I don't know.
So I mean, I don't understand why all of a sudden and now every time you see something, and I thought it was interesting. So during that last game, she ran down like she was the star of the show, and she won the game. And the reporters only wanted to talk to her, not to Travis Kelce.
But to be fair, they are dating.
I've never seen another wife run down to the ball player.
They do it all the time.
And the news doesn't care.
They line the families up. They line the families up in the tunnel, and whoever wins the game gets to go out on the field, and the other people go back up.
No, I'm telling you,
this is the losers.
This is such a setup. That something is wrong. And
okay.
So,
in a little bit of fun. It's football related, but it's also political related. So, Nancy Pelosi, who was born and raised in Baltimore, went to root for the Ravens, and she got booed. They booed her severely. There's video out there that's awesome about it, and then she went to San Francisco and got booed again. I'll be right back, folks.
Where are you going?
I'm going to plug the thing back in because the dog just yanked it out.
Yeah. So Rabbit, I don't know that she can't satisfy a man. Not sure what you mean about that.
No, it's not that she can't satisfy a man. It's that she got shitty taste in people. Hence,
I also don't understand what you know. So
all her songs. Hang on. We're talking about Taylor Swift. Right?
Yeah.
So all her songs are breakup songs.
So do you listen to Taylor Swift?
No, but I pay attention to pop culture because it's interesting. But all her songs, all her big hits are breakup songs with all the shitty people that she dated.
Is she the one that did "Shake It Up"?
Yeah.
Well, so our daughter listened to that, and you and her used to sing that together. But I don't remember that being about a breakup.
She got a bunch of songs about breakups because of all the pasty soy boys that she dated.
She doesn't write her own music.
Yeah, she does.
She writes her own music?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
She always has.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know enough about
Listen,
her.
I'm not a big fan. I don't like her music. I'm not a big fan of her as a person. I give credit where credit is due. She's very talented.
We're going to get demonetized because we're not a Swiftie.
She's very talented, and by all accounts, she's very generous with her money, and she does a lot of charity work. And people in the music.
She's like, can we change the subject?
People in the music industry say that she's a nice person.
Okay, stop now, because I'm even tired of it. I just don't.
Taylor Swift.
HG, you should just unsubscribe to him right now. So.
Hey, get out of
there. But, yeah, no, I'm sick of it. That's all you see on the news anymore. But yeah. So let's go back to agriculture and what's going on. What's going on with the homestead? You were not able to put the new window in because it rained all weekend.
It rained hard too.
Yeah, Hacks asked me about that, and I was like, nope, he didn't do it.
It rained hard. So I edited videos. I went out in the rain.
What's Tucker Carlson doing in Russia?
Interviewing Putin. But I did. I spent Saturday. I spent about 4.5 hours, maybe 5, out there. I expanded the chicken herb garden.
Yeah.
So the problem we had last year was there was I kind of put a fence around it to try to get it to grow because the chickens will go in while everything's growing and eat it down to the ground. So I put a little fence up around it, and the goats went right through the fence and they ate everything. They pulled it out, everything, all the perennial stuff, everything out by the roots. So I expanded it. And now it's 12 by 12, 12 by 12 plot, and I put a goat-proof fence on it. And now she can walk in. There's going to be a path. I'm going to put stepping stones down the middle of it so she can work on both sides. And she's going to be able to grow a proper, good-sized chicken herb garden. And then once the herbs and everything are up to the point where the chickens can't destroy them, I'll take and open up a little hole in the bottom so the chickens can run in and out of the garden and get what they need, and it just makes them way more happy and way more healthy, you know. And we did manage to get eggs going again the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, once we got that real cold.
We had 2 weeks where we didn't get any eggs whatsoever, and that's the first time we've been doing chickens for going on 15 years. We've been doing chickens going on for 15 years.
Well, I mean, you could count longer. You could say 30 if you count the chickens the chicken that we had in the house.
Okay, that wasn't. That's a home. Okay. Yeah, so we finally got eggs. Okay, the house chicken, and I'll tell this story. So, got out of the Marine Corps, moved back to Kansas City, and it was our son's first Easter out of the military. Since we got out of the military, somebody thought it would be cool to buy a live chick, and I was like, okay. So we got this chick, and it became a pet. It became my pet. So we were raising exotic birds. She used to be able to make these most beautiful parakeets you ever seen, most gorgeous colors. But we were raising exotic.
The lovebirds were the best. I sold lovebirds.
Yeah,
like
lovebirds.
Crazy. Yeah.
But so we had this little lovebird, Yakko, who was my buddy. She would either sit in my pocket or crawl inside my shirt and stick her head out where the button was, and I'd go out and work in the yard, and she'd just sit in there and so this chicken was around exotic birds and around pet birds so much that it thought it was a bird just like that. And I would have this lovebird on this shoulder and the chicken on this shoulder, and the lovebird would make a lovebird sound, and the chicken would try to imitate it and do a terrible job at it. The lovebird hated the chicken. One day, I'm in the living room, and we let the kitchen was linoleum, so we'd let the chicken come inside sometimes, and we'd put a little fence up. And I'm in the living room doing something, and I hear the most god-awful racket. This chicken is just squawking up a storm, and I can hear Yakko making her angry lovebird sounds. And I go into the kitchen, and this chicken is running circles in the kitchen, and Yakko is latched on to its ankle. No, its ankle.
Oh, is it on the ankle?
And this chicken is dragging Yakko around the kitchen, and Yakko won't let go. Her wings are flopping, the chicken's flopping. It was a complete mess. Oh my gosh. And that is the last time I said, no more house chickens. No more chickens, period. We didn't have any for a long time, and now now we got freaking chickens in our living room when they're hatched and growing in tubs.
Where am I supposed to put them?
I'm just saying.
So anyway, it's part of life.
Yeah, it's part of life. It's part of life as a homesteader.
Yeah.
Had I known. Had I known.
Oh, I wouldn't do chicken diapers. No, she didn't do much, but you gotta understand too. I mean, when he says exotic birds, like I had a lot of birds. I had Australian hummingbirds.
One time we had over 400 birds in our house.
Yeah, I had just all kinds of stuff. I mean, from macaws all the way.
Most of them were button quails and lovebirds and small birds. But we had a couple of breeding macaws. Mm-hmm. We had 3 or 4.
Kiko-chan.
Kiko-chan
was the largest. Kiko-chan was actually the largest hummingbird in the world, and so not
the breed.
By record,
the breed is the breed.
And
she's a lorikeet.
She wasn't a lorikeet.
She was the one.
Lorikeets are small. Those are the smaller ones. She was great big. Kiko-chan was red. Oh, you're right. I've got the name. No, Kiko-chan is red.
Kiko-chan was a breed of lorikeet.
Well, she was big.
She was big.
She was like a parrot.
She could aim her poop.
No, that was.
Kiko-chan was the one that used to poop on your son when you walked by. Your son hated that.
I was thinking that one was a lorikeet.
So this.
I don't know. We had so many birds. I can't keep them straight.
Kiko could imitate words. She could, and I'm going to curse here because it's something I said. It's something I said, and you have to hear it the way the bird said it. So I would come home from work, and she would let the kids tear all the toys out in the living room, and it used to drive me nuts because I'd walk in and trip over toys and stuff, and I just like 900 square foot house, they got to keep it clean. And so I would walk in, and I would see these toys on the floor, and I would go, "What's this shit?" And
you would also say SOB, "What's this?" And that was how it always was.
So Kiko-chan, God bless her, she got to the point when my son would walk through the room her cage was in, she would scream at the top of her lungs, "What's this shit? What's this shit?"
And it was SOB, "What's this?" And then we had it wasn't Father Murphy, it was Oh man, somebody with the church stopped by just to check, and so I don't know. Anyway, so I can't remember it so long ago, and they came in, and then the bird starts going off, and so you could imagine the looks we got. Thank God, it was Catholic, so it was all right. And then the UPS man, the best one was the parrot that we had, and
Caesar.
Caesar, who turned out to be a girl. I had her sex to find out, but Caesar was a girl. And so Caesar I kept in the living room. She was very near and dear to me because she belonged to my aunt before my aunt passed away. And so Caesar, the UPS man would come up to the door and knock, and she would just go, "Hello." And he would say, "I have a package for you." She said, "Leave it by the door."
She sounded, if you weren't in the room with her, she sounded like a person.
Human being.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no, it was just hilarious.
She was kind of mean.
She was nice to me. She loved me.
She would crawl on me and she'd be all nice, and all of a sudden she'd bite my ear. She thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm. She'd bite him and then laugh. She could also bark like a chihuahua.
Yeah.
My aunt had chihuahuas.
Oh, and she would scream, "Help! Help!"
Because my aunt would fall and then need help.
You could hear it all the way out on the road, out through the front yard.
Yeah.
Okay, so All American asked, do you think we're headed for a civil war?
Close. I think we're close.
Civil wars take a lot of different forms. All right. So, do I think we're headed for a civil war a la the War of Aggression, as they call it down in the South? Do I think we're headed towards something like that? Personally, no. I honestly don't think it will get to that point. I think what you're going to see is a lot of, if it gets where blood's being shed, it's going to be a lot of low level asymmetrical warfare going on, and it's gonna look more like the border states in the 1850s than the United States in 1860 to 65. That's what I'm seeing, or that's what I think. But I'm nobody. I mean.
So Tamara, that's interesting that you say that if Biden messes with Texas, because Alaska, there was a news report that just came out, and Alaska is sending 2 helicopters and something else. We don't know. Got to verify the information, but it came out. G saw it, and but they're sending soldiers and helicopters down to the border.
And, everybody thinks that national.
I can't even finish my sentence, can I?
Well, I want to be fair. I want to make sure that everybody understands what you're saying, what you're talking about. To be fair, the National Guard has had a mission on the border from California to Texas since 2020. So I don't know. I was thinking about that story, and it seems like it may be a regular deployment of troops.
Well, it could be. I just think it's weird that it's so far out. So, but unless, and I think, and you know how it is too. So they start hearing rumors and listening, because they're listening to phone calls, they're listening to the internet, they're listening to what everybody is saying, they're doing surveillance. So I almost wonder if a threat has not come through and there's some kind of terrorism threat that they're trying to intercede. So I almost think that maybe it's some of that. These days you just don't even know anymore. I mean, the whole thing about the whole reason why we gave Iran the heads up is because we're trying to keep them calm, let them know that we need business, and that they're not going to mess with us because Biden is strong and Biden is going to take care of America and stand up for what is right. And then Iran says and sends a drone over, kills 6 U.S. soldiers and so many more from other countries, and sent a missile right over into a British warship. So that worked well, didn't it, Potato Head?
So the whole sending people to Texas, Tamara's got it right. They said that they stand with Texas. What that looks like at this point in time, we don't know. We don't know.
Right now,
Could they legally send troops down to Texas?
are you talking about like Navy, Marine Corps, that kind of thing?
No.
National Guard.
National Guard.
Yes.
Legally, the states, from my knowledge of the National Guard, just working with it, legally they could.
Yes.
The governors could decide to do that.
However, right now, I think what they're saying in favor of Texas, they would send the National Guard down to help Texas. And so there was a whole map on that I saw that I was looking at. So right now it's a matter of backing them, and there's honestly not enough states that don't back Texas right now to even make a difference. So I think people are just fed up.
You know, I think and this is from me working for the Guard, working for the DoD and helping the Guard. The thing to watch out for is if they try to federalize the National Guard. That is a
which is where Suburban Prepper, he's right. So that's where that comes in. So you got to kind of watch and see why and what's he thinking, and is it going to work?
I find it odd that Biden deployed most of the units. See, I had not heard about that. I had not heard about that. I'll have to look into that. You know, but if they try to nationalize the National Guard, then that's the
reason to stand
that could create an immovable object with an unstoppable force,
right?
And we all know how that turns out.
Right.
You know, so I mean, let's be honest, guys. We need to hope that it doesn't come to that. We need to hope that cooler heads prevail and we're able to get this taken care of without.
No, Tamber, I didn't. Can you send me the link? Send me the link, and I'll go check it out. That would be interesting. I'd love to see that. I've heard some interviews with them and heard what was going on, and those have been good so far. And people have their feathers are ruffled. They're mad. They're ready to fight back. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be touchy. But
yeah, Eagle Ever, Missouri's been sending National Guard troops down there on rotation since 2020.
Yeah,
and they usually the mobile support regiment or whatever it was I worked for. Yeah, they had troops going down there all the time.
Rotten is one of them. So, but what's the series? Rotten is one of them, right? I think it is. That sounds familiar.
No, Rotten's the name of the series. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'll go back and look at it and find out. But because I've got pharma something in my head. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. What worries me is that and take it for what it is. I think about this stuff, and there's just sometimes things come up in my brain, and I'm like, oh. And so here's the thing: we're deploying everybody to Texas and doing all of that, which is a great thing. We need to support them. Or we're deploying over to Syria and overseas and doing all of that, which is a great thing. Our military has already been depleted, and now we know that we have sleeper cells everywhere, and we're pissing Iran off. And we're pissing off Russia, and we're pissing off China, and all of that, because Potato Head doesn't have enough force behind him for everybody else to be sold to China. And so people are standing up and they're saying, no, this is what needs to be done. And so here's the deal. You're waking the dragon. And so when you wake the dragon right now, we're seeing the materials that they're using, the drone strikes and all that. They're not going to get that over here. That's going to be more localized. What they're going to use here on our land, in our country, are the sleeper cells. So who's left but the people to protect us against those sleeper cells? I think it's just going to be very interesting to see how this all falls down. But
so, Rabbit, the unit from Missouri that's down in Texas is the 110th Mobilization Brigade, and its mission is to coordinate behind the front lines during a war. So they are down there providing the not the logistics. They're providing the coordination of the logistics of getting all the National Guard troops that are deployed down there back and forth for everybody. So that's what most of the people from Missouri are doing down there. So okay, anti put the
link up
the
there.
link there for the trailer. Yeah. So let's see. Because when those active duty units deploy overseas, they take their tanks and helicopters with them, so the tanks and gear won't be in Texas that the government can confiscate.
Right.
Yeah.
No, instead of our government confiscating it, we just leave them over there. We let all of them people use our equipment against us. So. Yep.
Well,
I love the way the world works.
So I'm going to do a video. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is on everybody's mind. There's a lot of people talking about it. It's actually, the talk is actually getting into the mainstream media, and there's a lot of people on the Patriot side that have misconceptions about what's going to happen in a certain regards. And I'm gonna do a video of my perspective of the military in this situation, because I've had conversation with senior staff NCOs, officers, and everything in units that would be directly affected by this.
What picture were you looking for, Karen? It was the little logo for
the lab-grown meat logo
lab-grown meat.
that's on the meat in Walmart. So I'm going to do a video about that, and I guarantee you that a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say about it. But it's my personal experience talking with these people and what I've been able to glean from the time I worked with the National Guard. So,
and let's face it, I mean, we all saw what happened with the jab, and that whole thing was about to see who would comply. And so now they know the percentage of America that will comply and do what they're told to do to hang on to their job.
if I can get 5 ones in the comment, I will give you a 30-second preview of what I'm going to say. Just so you guys just so you guys can walk away with a little bit and a little nugget, if you will.
You know, I almost think that that's the whole thing for the invasion, because they need some more of those people that will just do whatever they tell them to do, because they want their green card. So of course they're going to stay in the military and do what they're told.
Yeah, suburban prepper. I have not seen your video, but did you mention that? Did you mention that Biden said you had to have F-16s to fight the federal government, and Texas just so happens to have F-16s?
Wow. Yeah. That's a correct prepper. 1111.
Yeah, he's doing the same smart Alex. You guys know what I was talking about. So anyway, you know what? I'll share. Number one, there ain't no army of hunters gonna come save the day. It ain't gonna happen. And number two, the military will not be on our side. Plain and simple. And I will explain why I've come to these conclusions. But it's just, it is what it is. You know, so we need to learn. We need to figure out how to deal with it. You know, the first thing we need to do is we need to start building our communities. We need to take everything that we talk about on this channel and work towards creating communities and building those connections, so that whenever the tough times happen, and better than even chance they will happen, we're able to deal with them much better than trying to do it on our own. You know, and I commend everybody that's in the chat that is actively working towards community, and I salute you guys. You guys are doing what needs to be done.
Yep.
You know. So I salute you guys. And the other thing we need to do is we need to, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, how they're trying to shut down small farms and homesteaders. We need to become food independent, so we're not relying on the supermarket for our food.
And I think that as along that line too, I think it's important to make sure who your sheriff is your sheriff constitutional, If you're looking for land, is that sheriff constitutional? You need to find that out. Ask that sheriff some tough questions. If they show up at my gate, what are the things that I need to do? So we know in our case it was the same over in Missouri. So in Kansas and Missouri, 3 warnings. So you suggest that they leave, you tell them to leave, and then you can break out a gun and demand that they leave. And so as long as you do those 3 things, you're fine. And so you just need to discuss with your sheriff in your area what the things are that you need to do, and what your, just how it works and what you need to do to make sure that you're within those guidelines. So is that it?
Anti comes through. Anti comes through.
So, but yeah, so make sure that you do that, and then just go to town, start doing it, start getting what you need, and doing all of that. So we're also coming up on experimenting with some different medicines. I've got somebody else on board doing that as well. She's working with some ditchweed right now, and trying to figure that one out. So it's got to have some good components to it. I got to put a little more research into it, kind of thing, because I think if I got it, I think if I could really get it get it condensed, like super powerful, and maybe just let it go in the warmer for, instead of 6 weeks, maybe, or 2 weeks, maybe do it 6 weeks or 8 weeks, and then really get that in there and concentrated. Mm-hmm. I think that could be pretty close medicine and topical within that. So I'm gonna figure that one out. She's working on it right now, so I'll see what she comes up with. But I'm gonna do some more research on that.
See, this is so, and this runs the gamut of what she was talking about. So Rabbit Coyote's got a community, a sheriff that supports the community. Suburban Prepper, on the other hand, has a bleeding heart.
Oh
no. So we have to get to where we're doing it. Another thing that we need to do is we need to start building these alternative economies. Remember how we were talking? We need to keep our money inside our communities.
Take care, Suburban Prepper. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, take it easy. Somebody, Anti, can you find the link for Suburban Prepper's page?
Yeah, throw it in there.
And throw it in there, if you don't mind. So, yeah, Gregory has a lab. It's called Pasture. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going out and going to look for some hemp. We have permission to go on one of our neighbors' property as well. So his hasn't been mowed or anything. So I think I'm going to start there.
I haven't seen any hemp on our property.
Well, I know, but so that's why I thought I would start there, because you mow everything and its brother down here.
Or the goats.
Or the goats and sheep you get. But yeah, so hopefully you'll leave me some sweetgrass this spring. But so anyway.
Well, I'm transplanting some.
Are you good? And then so anyway, so I'll go do that and then try to figure out. See, it should be dry now, but I'll go ahead and cut it and maybe dry it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. We need to learn how to
we barter and trade all the time here. Yep.
And if you're gonna come to the Midwest Preparedness Festival, bring some stuff to barter for Bartertown. And if you're not, start a Bartertown where you live. Yeah. I mean, just get everybody together and start bartering.
And it's really easy. It's just like what we were talking about between the freezer and then me cooking meals for them. It's really easy. It's just figuring out what they like and how they feel like they're going to be satisfied, and then me doing the same. And so, like I said, for me, I feel like it's a win-win. For MMR and Indiana Mike, they feel like it's a win-win for them. And so this is it. It's about everybody, coming out together. Now, we're also in the same community, so neither of us are going to shorthand each other either, because we lean on each other. If
you're on the East Coast, Local Prepper and Jester are actually Jester's putting on, Local Prepper is helping him. They're putting on Prep Fest in October, and they're going to have a Bartertown.
I still think that would be fun.
They've been talking with Spags and getting tips and tricks on how to make it successful, and they're going to have a Bartertown out there, as far as I know. In fact, you know what? February 19th, President's Day, Monday. We are doing a Without Rule of Law live with Local Prepper Jester, and Dale from Survivalist Prepper. So we're going to do a live, and we will. If you show up in the chat, you can ask them about Prep Fest. I'm sure they're going to talk about it, and you'll get all the information. Well, what information they have there. So put it on your calendars. President's Day, February 19th, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The only time zone that matters.
I saw you said something about freeze dryer update because he's now 6 months into his freeze dryer, right?
Dale is.
And
Dale
so,
is.
are you guys thinking that you want Lisa and I on there too as well? Because
Yeah.
we were going to do that one.
Yeah,
Is that when you want to do that?
Yeah, we
Okay.
got to figure it out. We'll probably do it next month.
Okay.
Because we've actually got
festivals start next month.
We've actually got 3 lives in a row this month. We've got a Monday, the Without Rule of Law, Tuesday our update, and the following Wednesday is going to be Spags with Nice Does Not Equal Good.
Okay.
So,
yeah, so we just need to figure that out because next month starts festivals.
what festivals are next month?
PSL. So I'm going to cut that back to one booth as well. I think that'll make it a little bit better. So we're used to cramming everything in there and having lost sales. So I think we're just going to do it that way. So I'll cut that back to one, and then we'll still do breakfast. I think we'll be better off doing that. You don't have to do it. You just get me there so that I can warm everything up.
There you go.
They're not even going to start till 10.
There's room reppers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tyler.
I tried finding it while we were talking earlier, and my Google and YouTube foo is not very good tonight. Well, we are going on an hour and 36 minutes. You guys got any other really pressing topics you guys want to discuss?
I think we got a lot out tonight.
Anything you guys want to talk about, we can teach. Okay, All American, have you got on freesteading and have you
advertise it?
Put your classes into the calendar.
There's a lot of people that are in Florida that are on freesteading.com.
And
so.
get it into Midwest Preparedness Festival and get it on that calendar too.
Correct. Yep.
So that people know when your classes are.
Yep.
We need to start
supporting each other.
And letting people know and getting more people involved.
Totally.
But yeah. So you guys make sure you go check out those calendars. Put your stuff on there. That doesn't just go for All American. It goes for anybody that's having classes, anybody that's got a festival or a barter town or a potluck or anything.
Put it on there.
Get it on there.
And then put it in your state pages. Now, if there's some nut in here that thinks that they're going to go in there, they're all free speech platforms, so you can do that. But also know they're free speech platforms. So if you're looking for a fight,
well, I'm telling you right now, if you go into Midwest Preparedness Festival acting like a jackass, they will have no problem booting you.
Yeah. So
the Spags and Patrick Henry will not put up with that.
So just play nice and make sure that you're not some frickin' liberal that's getting on there just kind of doing it, because we've had somebody that ended up being a frickin' liberal, and that did not end well for her.
They were from Florida.
And they were from Florida. And that did not end well for her. So, yep.
Yeah, we need to get back on there and be more active too.
Yeah.
Life kind of so much social media. You only got so much.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, and especially I'm constantly trying to keep Facebook up and then answer. I missed a message. It was a little bit older, so kind of screwed up there. But I did get our website out, and I plugged our website into our Grumpy Acres Farm Facebook. So now that should be there. If you can't find it, I'll figure out a way. Maybe I can do like a top line where it's automatically there.
See, Jonathan just used freesteading today and got some good answers. Susie wants to know if there's going to be freeze drying in the book.
So I talk about it a little bit. It's more temperature and that kind of thing. Susie, honestly, every recipe that's in there, you can freeze dry. And so this is what I'm trying to figure out with that freeze dry book, because I may just be able to take cookbooks that I've already done and then just walk through a guideline. Well, actually, you were asking me for guidelines, weren't you?
Yes.
So I will have some stuff in the cookbook about freeze drying, because really all you need to know is guidelines. And so, or suggestions, like what temperature, how this is going to, tips and hints. So yes, I will have something in there, and just know that every recipe in there it can be canned. Cinnamon roast, well, you can actually can those too. So everything in there can be canned. Everything in there can be freeze dried. And yeah, so I'll do. Thank you, Susie. I will put that in the hints and tips because I was trying to figure out. He's like, you need to do this. I'm like, everybody already knows everything. And
You got canning, you got freeze drying, you got dehydrating, you've got measurements.
No. Measurements. Oh, you want me to do the kitchen conversion?
Yeah, kitchen
I
conversion.
can do the kitchen conversion.
You could take that chopping mat that you've got that's got how to tell how big everything is by just looking at the size.
Oh, that's a pastry mat.
Whatever. You can do that.
And it's not very good. Everybody knows what a pastry mat is. So I'll just maybe in there I can say refer to your pastry mat.
Or just say if it's a hand, if it fits in the palm of your hand, it's a pound of protein.
Everybody's palm in their hand is different.
Susie says things. How do we know Susie exists? How do we know that? How do we know that Gregory's not sitting there with his imaginary girlfriend from Canada?
I think that's happening.
I'm just saying. Gregory's going to have to come down and go to Midwest Preparedness and prove that Susie exists. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So weird. Oh my goodness. Actually, I don't know. I'm trying to remember exactly where they're at, but I was thinking about making a run up to the. I've said this before, but now I'm kind of in a shape that I really need to run up there, running up to that pantry and seeing how far they maybe meet for coffee or something like that. That would be fun.
All right, guys, we need to wrap this up. I had a long day. I'm tired.
You tired, baby?
My chest was acting up today, and it wears me out.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what's going on different. The only thing I can figure out is
they've been eating a lot of salt.
1,000,000 pounds of pepperoni, so we're gonna nip that in the bud. So yeah, cut down on the salt. So he got kind of wild and willy with me when chiropractor's like, you need more salt, and he was like, yay, because I cut him off of salt, and so now he's all up in the salt, and now he's hurting. So he's going back on rations.
That's what we think it is.
Yeah,
that's what we think. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. I'll probably throw some activated charcoal down your throat too, and kind of get out whatever poison's in there.
So. I've been eating a lot of sugar.
And you should probably take some ivermectin to get whatever bug, just in case you got a bug in there messing with your heart. Well, that's what causes heart problems.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah, I know exactly where it is, and so it's not going to hurt you.
Yes, we take ivermectin. YouTube. Ivermectin is a very good medicine, and it's the most widely prescribed medicine in Africa, and it fixes COVID. It keeps you from getting COVID.
Oh, we got to quit.
Probably.
Now you're going to get me on that new COVID strain. So, yeah, there's a
all right, guys.
New one. So we need to get off of
that.
We
do need to get off, seriously. Yeah. You guys, thanks for showing up. If you want to support the channel, grantbakersfarm.com. You can find us on Freesteading. We're on the Midwest Preparedness Discord now, which is it's getting very active. We've got YouTube, and look for us on Rumble. In fact, the thing tonight is over on Rumble, and there are 3 people watching over on Rumble. So
nice. Thank
you very much, our Rumble folks.
Yeah.
We'll have to get you guys more. Involved over there on
There's a way. Maybe we can just have another computer or iPad that has the Rumble on there, so we can see what's going on in there. We can do that.
Nobody's talking, so.
Well, they probably would if they knew that we were over there, right? So there's that.
Excellent, guys. Keep up. Y'all are going to be needing every bit of info we can get here soon. Make every day count as a win from now on. Y'all have a good night. Adios. Absolutely, guys. All right, you guys, go out, live a life free. Be
at least 1% better tomorrow than you were today. Keep stacking, keep prepping, and make sure you got your head on a swivel. Stay safe.
Take care.